Kia ora, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Light Lunch. My name is Floriana. I'm the regional events lead, and I'm happy to welcome Kyle today. After the last time we had to cancel, we had a bit of technical difficulties. Unfortunately, Matt is sick today, but we are really happy to have you, Kyle. Thank you very much for sticking with the plan and stay with us. And would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, too easy. So I'll just introduce myself formally first, but ko Taipari tuku maunga, ko Hokianga tuku awa, ko ngā tuku matawhāorua, tuku waka, um, ko Ngāpoi tuku iwi, ko Te Rarawa tuku hapu, ko Kyle Pol tuku ingoa. So kia ora, and thanks for having me. So I'm Kyle Pol, Area Manager with CPB here in New Zealand. Been with the group for about 12 years now, around Australia, New Zealand, and little stints in Asia as well. But yeah, back home here in Christchurch, but I'm currently working in Dunedin on the new Dunedin Hospital.
Thank you. So just to explain you a little bit, how are we gonna work on things? So we're gonna have two parts on Light Lunch. One part is to ask you a few questions, and well, one question that is what keeps you awake at night. It can be good, it can be bad, either way you want to go. And then the second part is get to know you a bit better. I was thinking that since Matt is not here, maybe best to ask you a few more questions so people get to know you a little bit more. So are you
Sweet
ready?
as. Yeah, sweet as. Yeah, go
Okay.
for
Okay. So can you please share the top three things that keep you awake at night?
Yeah, okay. So interesting one. I was reflecting on just before. So I think one for me, the biggest one is just, New Zealand's sitting at a $200 billion deficit in infrastructure. I think that's pretty scary. Not seeing the pace of investments or construction where it needs to be. I think that's quite worrying. Water issues, roads, public transport, schools, hospitals, having to continue to maintain these without the pipeline of new work. I think that's pretty scary. And I do think about that one in the back of the mind. I think that transposes into even a future pipeline for talent management here in New Zealand. Without these large complex jobs, a lot of my colleagues will head over to Australia or Asia or where else to chase those works. So it's quite expensive to bring them back without continuity of work. Yeah, it's pretty scary. Keen to see some change here, but that's something that I do ponder about. I another one which is scary and exciting, I guess. I'm doing a paper with Manby at the moment on technology preparedness. It's really opened my eyes just around the disruption around AI integrated works and the exponential change or the growth of computing power. I think that's scary and exciting. I think my understanding in at least the short-term horizon of about 5 years, 45 to 70% of our work's going to change. Change itself is scary, but I tend to embrace it. I think in 2030 we'll get generative AI, which is the intelligence of a human being. That kind of stuff. Wrapped in the back of my head that I'm thinking about. Those are the two key ones. The only other third one is my children. They keep me up, but it's not really work related.
I guess it happens to everyone. Everyone has,
Yeah,
that's one thing that yeah.
yeah.
Right. Thank you, Kyle. Should we move on to part two? So
Yes, we do.
the first question is, what are you reading, listening to, or watching currently?
Yeah, so I'm a bit of a late start when it comes to reading. I was never really into reading. I think in my 30s, I started reading a lot. Recently, like with respect to infrastructure, how big things get done. That book's absolutely amazing. It's I think it was a business book award of 2023, but it's around, think slow, act fast, build with Lego. It's around the infrastructure and why projects are delayed, why they go over budget. It's a study of, say, 15,000 projects from a a very educated man in America and linked in with a Harvard individual, from my understanding. So it's a very interesting book that I have purchased for others and also share the one I have. I think it's absolutely amazing. Another one that's similar to construction I've read recently is Gorilla in the Cockpit. It's breaking the patterns of project failure and success. That was a really, really interesting book as well. But I always have a book on me for when I'm flying to and from work or wherever. I'm always reading. And another one that I would recommend recently is a book called Range. It's about generalists trumping specialists. And it's around having a broad toolbox and mixed learning and how to better tackle a VUCA environment, just like volatile, um, you know, ambiguous, complex. It's uncertain. It's quite a good generalist book, which I recommend to everyone. But those are three ones that I just finished reading, to be honest. Otherwise, I'm doing my MBA at the moment, so I've got enough to read with those lectures, and I don't have too much time for TV and stuff. But otherwise, podcasts. No Bullshit Leadership. I love that one. I do go back to that one now and then. That's a really good one. Otherwise, IDOU is another really good creative thinking podcast around human-centric problem solving. So that's also pretty neat as well. So whenever I get time, continue to learn and grow. So, but that's what I'm reading and listening to at the moment. Probably not exciting to everyone, but to me it is.
And we'll make sure to leave the links afterwards, so people can share as well. And then, are you watching something currently?
Watching? No, not really. I'm not really watching anything. Just more of the recordings of my lectures.
Good way to learn, though.
But no, it's something I used to get into and watching movies. So it's maybe later on, get into it. Otherwise, it's generally kid movies. When I get time on the weekend, do movie night with the kids. I watch a lot of kids movies. We just throw a mattress in the lounge and watch movies together. So that's the time. So the movies I watch are really kids movies.
Awesome. And then second question is, what is something do you do for yourself to help your well-being?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, and it's something that I'm very conscious of and have a number of tools. But I think one thing I'm very big fan of is the Te Wharatapa Whā model that's developed by Sir Mason Jury, I think. So it's a health model, which is kind of like it's based off a wharenui or meeting house with four walls, but it's like a real construction analogy. You've got taha tinana, so your physical health, you got wairoa, aroa, you've got all different aspects of it. So for me, I'm an active relaxer. Sorry, just got a call coming through. I'll cancel. I'm an active relaxer, so I need to work out to clear my mind and to relax. So that's something I do. 5 o'clock in the morning, go to the gym. Otherwise, another one that I use to relax is like a sauna and then an ice bath, just to chill me out. And then meditation's great. I've tried many different tools, from box breathing. I find really, really great, especially before a tough meeting. Otherwise, at the end of the day, I've used a gratitude diary, which is really, really neat. I do it with my children now. It's, what are 3 things that you're grateful for today, or good things that happened. Even if you had a rough day, you'll find them. And then you write down the reasons why. And that's really cool, I think, because what happens is that you naturally create a positive mindset during the day and you go, oh, that was pretty cool. That was really good. I can record that one tonight, so it becomes automatic. So I do it with my children now. What's a good thing that happened? But I think that's a big one for me. Physical first, then mental, and then I need to work on the family a bit more, and in the wairoa and whānau. But keep going at it.
That is a great exercise. I think that all those things, positive things that happen to us, we sometimes take them for granted, and then once we write it down, you sort of realize a lot of the things that are good things that are happening to you on a daily basis that we don't realize or we don't see. But that is a great way to keep you sane.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And then what is your motto?
My motto. Um, for me, leadership drives culture, culture drives performance. So, being an authentic leader first and foremost, and looking after your team. I think for me, that's it. Leadership drives culture, culture drives performance. I think that's something that's previously stuck with me and that resonates, and something that I like to walk the talk with.
Awesome. So this is a new question.
Hmm.
What are you excited about it in the industry?
Well, I'll probably circle back to what I'm scared about, because ultimately I get excited. Like if I feel nervous or scared about something, and then reframe it and get a bit get excited, go, well, these feelings are letting me know that I'm going to grow. So the AI integration, the way things are getting done, I think to be part of that transition now, and to be able to have input on how your company or the industry is changing, that's pretty exciting. I think we're at the start of that exponential shift. I think we're pretty lucky. So I'm excited to see what the changes are coming. Chat GPT 10.1 or whatever, I think that's really cool. I think it's going to shape the way we're doing. And I think with this, there's going to be a form of equity with intelligence, so that people are going to have to be more people-like, and I think there'll be more leadership because of it. But that's my positive mindset around it. So I am excited about the exponential rates and technology change. I think it's going to be good for us.
A bit of both, excitement and scare.
You got to.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely, you go, and that's a growth mindset. You need to embrace that nervousness, that feeling of change, because a good thing will come out of it. Yeah.
that's great. Um, I have another new question. Have
Mm.
you had any mentors in your career?
Yeah. I've had a few throughout my life. I think my first one was my uncle, who unfortunately he passed away on oil and gas side, but he was my mentor, and he taught me to have humility. When I left the military, he told me to get a mechanical engineering degree because it's flexible, and then he threw me into the gas fields to toughen up and get a bit of reality. So I've naturally grown towards the old school superintendents who've been my mentors, and learned, the guys in the field and the people that are there are doing the hard mahi, and other ones making you look good, and to ensure that you're grateful for that. So my uncle was my first and foremost, but I've had a few throughout the industries. So I've been through oil and gas, mining, marine. Um, I think what for me was that you don't necessarily have to have one. I think you can definitely look at everyone in a leadership position and take both good and bad leadership attributes from people, and learn for them. But ultimately, you need to find who your authentic self is and go, I like that, but this is how I'm going to do it. You naturally gravitate towards people who have similar values to you as well. At the moment, I'd say I've got an ops manager here, Alistair Looms. He's a mentor. He's an absolute legend. I think the three pillars of leadership with IQ, EQ, and AQ. You see a lot of IQ, EQ, emotional intelligence, but seeing a leader who's resilient, adversity quotient, AQ, that's really cool to see someone really calm in the rough waters. And he's my current mentor, and I'm very grateful for that.
That is lovely. I like the fact that you said, take the things that are useful for you and make it your own. I think
Yeah, yeah,
that is really important advice as well.
yeah.
And the last question, talking about advice, is what is a piece of advice that you can have for the next generation?
Yeah. That's it's interesting. Like it's like, what would I tell myself if I can go back? I think we're in a totally different world now. So you know, for me, embrace a growth mindset. You know, we're in a VUCA world at the moment. You need to reframe the challenges or nervousness as an opportunity to learn and grow. But in doing that, don't forget the old school people. You still need to blend the old skills with new ways of doing things. Yes, we're changing, but we can't forget the old skills and how things are done. And you know, take everyone on the journey. I think that's a big one for me. You know, embrace a growth mindset during this time here. Get it like what I was talking about, the book range. It says, you know, at the start of your career, get good sampling in there, try different things. Don't be too stressed that you have to choose the perfect career straight after uni or straight after high school or wherever. You know, do a lot of sampling. Yes, we'll have a slower rate coming in, but later on we do tail up, and we will pass those who grow faster in the one industry, because the best thing for complexity is diversity. So the more broad skills you get, the better you're going to be in this current future anyway, because we don't know what it is. So you need to be able to see it from different angles, and be able to communicate with many people with different skills. I think, yeah, exciting times ahead. So brace yourself, young ones.
Kyle, thank you very much. It was lovely hearing your positive thoughts about all of this. It's really nice to hear everything that you have to tell us, and we really appreciate you today. So thank you, everyone. We'll see you in the next light lunch.
Awesome. Kia ora. Ka
Bye.
kite. Bye.